As a realtor, we often tell people, as far as home improvement, money that you're going to spend to improve your home, the best, most practical way to spend it is kitchens and bathrooms, because those really, if you're thinking resale, those are things that people are really impressed with when they come to look at a home.
I definitely agree. We do a lot of kitchens and bathrooms. This year we're doing a lot of bathrooms. I see a lot of people that are staying in their homes a little bit longer and finally are getting to that point where they say, we've had it with the current bathroom, we're going to redo it. I've had some clients come to me and want to make, some changes in their kitchen and bathroom so that they can sell their home. And we've had great success with that as well. Those are areas that people, you're a realtor and you've been in the real estate business. People really, look at those things when they come into a home. And if your kitchen and bathroom is up to date, you have a much stronger chance of selling your home.
Now, I would imagine that how you design a kitchen has a lot to do with who's doing the cooking and what kind of a cook they are. And I'll tell you my own little story, because after many, many years of making dinner for 9 every night, I retired from cooking. So when I have built the apartment I have now, which is an in-law apartment on my daughter's house, but I decided, I was actually staying in a Residence Inn when I got the idea, I don't need a kitchen range. I just need a countertop and a microwave. And I got all this extra drawer space, and it was a really good decision for me. Plus, my daughter's next door if I want somebody to cook or I want to use her oven.
She's right there, exactly.
Yeah. So I would imagine in designing kitchens, you need to find out who's the chef in the house and how serious are they. I find that most really serious chefs prefer gas ranges versus electric ranges. So want to elaborate on that a little bit?
I definitely agree with you. And to do a good job designing a kitchen, you really have to get to know who's cooking in the kitchen and what kind of family lives there. Are there pets in the home? Are there children in the home? Are the children cooking? Are there small children? Do we need to keep things up and out of the way? There are safety issues as well with kitchens and bathrooms. So really getting to know that client and how they cook. Some people bake a lot. Some people don't bake at all. Some people just use their microwave and counter space. So to really do a good job, you really have to get to know what goes on in that kitchen. And for everybody, it's different. And that's part of the thing that makes my job exciting. I really can take that time to get to know the client and, really look at the way they use their kitchen or bathroom and be able to customize that space.
And you mentioned some people baking a lot. I've been in some homes where they've had the lower countertop for kneading bread.
Oh yeah, definitely easier on the back and much more practical to be able to have that at a level where it's comfortable, especially if you're doing a lot of baking. So that's something that we like to ask, when we're designing a space for someone. What type of cooking do they do?
Now, where you have, I'm sure, very distinct ideas, and you try to customize it for each client, are there ever times that you and a client just really disagree, and you might have to do what she wants, but it makes your teeth itch?
Well, there's a lot of times like that, I mean, I use my skill, and my client is paying me for my advice, so I will definitely, especially if I see something that for safety reasons or for practical reasons it might not be a good idea, I'll always advise my client. But in the end, they are the ones that really need to be happy with the project. So, we make compromises every day, and my job is to make the space right for them, using my skill, and but they're the boss.
And while everything's individual, I would assume there are trends, and I'm thinking in kitchens, the breakfast bar, the eating kitchen, the formal dining room. What's in, what's out, or is it all over the place?
I think it's all over the place. I mean, we see, as we have in the last maybe decade, just a trend towards larger and larger kitchens, and more commercial grade appliances. And I think people are cooking a lot more. And that's become a hobby for a lot of people. And they're really, getting into that and being able to serve and entertain and cook all in the same space. And using some of those professional grade appliances, I think is, a trend that we're going to see more of. Other
friends tell me they'd seen this before, but I've only seen it in 2 homes, where you have a faucet over the stove, over the range.
Yes.
To fill big pots or put out a fire, I guess, if you have to.
It's called a pot filler.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, and it's used, if you're doing a big pot of pasta and you're boiling water for whatever reason.
It wasn't Italian's home where I saw it.
Pasta. Well, if you, you don't have to carry that pot over filled with water. You just have it right over the stove. The pot sits in its place, and you fill it right there on the stove. It's wonderful.
Very practical.
Wonderful, yeah.
What is your home like?
My home, I just moved. A beautiful English Tudor, and it's a work in progress. It's something that I purchased to renovate and put in new kitchens and bathrooms, and so it's I've been there a week, so it's the beginning stages of a project. I've redone numerous homes that I've lived in over the years, and I'm really excited about this. It's a very historical home, and being able to take that home back to its original beauty and update it in all of the right areas and in the right ways is something that I'm really excited about.
Oh, I can imagine. Now, do you do that? What's the old saying? How do you eat an elephant one bite at a time, or something like that?
Exactly.
Do you decide we'll do this? Because a lot of times I'll be selling a house to someone that's going to need some work, but I say it's livable. You can live in it the way it is, and then do a room at a time.
Exactly.
Is that how you advise people, or how you will be? It doesn't sound like you're going to have much time to do your own. You're very busy.
Well, homes are a passion of mine, and so there's always time for my house, and it just becomes one on the list of projects for the day. So a little bit at a time, but I've lived in numerous homes that have been under renovation. So I'm used to being around renovation every day of the week. Everywhere I go, we're under construction.
So where are you starting in your own home?
In my own home, we're starting with finding beautiful mahogany floors underneath layers and layers of carpeting, which is a great find that I didn't know was there, and painting and all of the fun stuff, and redoing the kitchen and bathroom will be next on the list as soon as there's a break in the schedule a little bit, but it's very exciting.
Well, here I see you, this glamorous woman with the beautiful manicured nails and the beautiful jewelry, but do you actually roll your sleeves up and wield a paintbrush and what have you?
I certainly do, and like I said, I have a lot of background in construction, so I can work all of the tools, and luckily I'm at the point where I don't have to do as much of that stuff anymore, but I certainly did as I built my business and have redone numerous homes myself. So,
and then what you said, bathrooms is another big item, and I was in a home not long ago. Of course, being a realtor, I'm in and out of a lot of homes. This home had the big jacuzzi bathtub in the master bathroom, but did not have a separate shower, and I saw that as a real negative.
Very much so. We're seeing a trend now towards large luxury showers. So a lot of people that have the big jacuzzi tubs, they're thinking about it and realizing that they really use it maybe once or twice a year. So we're getting requests to remove those and put in a very large luxury shower that really is a little bit more practical. And
well, now that
a little
makes
bit more
sense.
trendy.
If you remove the tub, you've got lots of room for a big shower.
We just did that in a house in Connecticut. They had a very large jacuzzi tub, which was beautiful, but a little bit dated in the bathroom. It was very much a 1980s style bathroom, so they were really ready for an update. And we took out that old jacuzzi tub, and we gave them a really large luxury shower with jets and all of the bells and whistles that they can really enjoy.
It's nice to have seats in the shower.
Beautiful
now, was
tile.
that your idea or theirs to replace the jacuzzi tub?
Well, I think they were kind of on the fence about it, but once we showed them what a beautiful shower we can create and something that they can really use every day, I think they were very much convinced that that was the way to go. And they love it. It's all complete now, and they really love the project. So.
Now, you mentioned you do some commercial projects as well, and you mentioned Monty Tex Foyer, the restaurant. What other type of commercial projects have you done, and do you have a preference?
We've done doctors' offices, chiropractors' offices, accountants' offices, so basically any small business, and including Monty Tech. That was a very large job for us, and it was a very exciting job because a lot of the students participated and did all of the work, and I was able to help them with design services. So it was a very fun project for me. And so a lot of small businesses, we've done storefronts, and we've done, different things for different businesses depending on what their needs are at the time. So.
And now, being an interior designer is different from just being a home stager, staging a home so it looks better, shows better to sell, right?
Definitely.
You're designing for the owner's comfort, day-to-day living, their lifestyle, right?
Exactly, and we get into more of the construction end of it. We do a lot of the, kitchens, the bathrooms, and, changing of rooms and all of that. There are times when we need to bring an architect in, and we can certainly do that if we are putting on an addition or something like that. But, most of what we do is within the confines of the space that we initially have. We just create ways to use that space better.
And you mentioned window treatments. I've always found that very challenging. Unless you have them custom done, it's hard to find window treatments that you're going to be satisfied with.
It could be very challenging, and with the different sizes and shapes of windows and different needs and levels for privacy in the room, and trying to match things to furnishings and all of that. If you can do custom, if you really do this properly, do custom properly, you can wind up spending, within your budget. And finding exactly what you need for fabrics. There's so much more to choose from.
But that's where they need you.
Exactly, to be able to...
Because everybody doesn't know where to go, what will work, and where the bargains are.
Just having that little bit of guidance and help in the area of preparing the design can really be a cost saving. Sometimes people call me in the middle of a project. They're trying to be their own contractor and designer, and they've already spent way more money than they needed to because of not being familiar with materials and supplies and who to hire and all of that. So spending that little bit of money to get a proper design in the beginning can really save time and money and keep a client more on budget.
Okay, and you may have just answered my next question in our remaining minute. I was going to ask you if you have any practical advice, or what are the most common mistakes people make that you could give them some advice about?
And I'm very familiar with that. A lot of times I do get called in the middle of a client trying to do their own project. When it comes to kitchens and bathrooms especially, they can be very complicated. Everything has to be planned out properly. You really don't want your kitchen or bathroom to be under construction for months on end. So in order to do that properly, have a design before construction begins. Don't gut your bathroom and then start picking out things, and then you have lead times and your construction crew gets tired of waiting, so they leave. So my best advice is don't be your own contractor.
And plan ahead.
Plan ahead.
That's very practical.
Have a design. Even if you're going to try and implement it over time yourself, have that design. Have all of your materials picked out and chosen. You don't want to get halfway into a project and realize that you have to make a change because something that you thought you were going to buy is no longer available.
Know where you're going before you start.
Exactly.
Thank you, Gia.
This
has been very interesting, and I wish you continued success.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
It's Designs by Gia. You can look them up, I'm sure. And I hope you'll join me again next week. I'm very excited to be interviewing Mark Bedanza again. Mark, as you probably know, has authored several books, and this one is about JoJo White. And we're hoping that JoJo White will be here with Mark next week. And I know I will be here, and I hope you will too. This is Barbara Foster saying good night, and God bless you.